Okay, FCW Universe, it's that time of the week again as we are sitting around the virtual El Captino's table as it's time for your weekly show, Discussion Concussion.
No. Shut your mouth, Todd. You haven't been paying attention to social media this week. Discussion Concussion's done. It's time for a break.
You haven't learned any manners this week either. You haven't learned any manners this week.
I don't need manners for you, Todd, because let me tell you something, brother. This is the one, the only El Captino's table presented by Backstage at the Baggerdome. And I'm going to introduce the guest. I've just wrote this down. I'm going to have a go. I'm shooting from the hip. So, without further ado, you all know who I am. But the guest today would like me to remind you that his hairstyle is deliberately streamlined and aerodynamic. His beard is a shock-absorbent, tactical master stroke. He is the one true master. I think that was right. True master of the pink and black attack. He's soon to be celebrating certain success in a VIP room of a nightclub that you could not dream of getting in. And this is the backbreaking, brain-making, streamlined, aero-driving, current Wolfram Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion and Kamikaze Pro Relentless Champion. Sit back and enjoy the Elliott Jordan Experience, baby!
That was probably the worst. That was probably the worst rendition of my announcement I've ever heard in my life.
Great. And that is exactly what I was going for, Elliott. So I'm happy to have met your expectations.
You did. You did meet them. Useless.
Colin is rolling over in his announcing grave.
Yeah. Oh, bless him. Really
Colin,
is.
How are you?
Colin will have turned this video off, I think.
Yeah. Colin doesn't watch this video anyway. Who are we kidding?
Oh, he'll be coming for you.
So how are you, Elliott? Anyway, how's lockdown? How's life? And
I'm as good as can be. I think obviously got cabin fever. Cabin fever is well and truly setting in now. But I think probably just in the same boat as everyone else. In it, we're all in it, all in the same thing together, all dealing with the same sort of problems and that. So as good as can be. How are you guys?
Yeah. I mean, to be perfectly honest, like me personally, life's very much carried on as normal. I've still been working and whatever, but I've got two frustrated young lads who are climbing the walls now, to be perfectly honest. So, but yeah, we're okay. Yeah, okay. We're all in good health and everything.
Like Todd says, my life is pretty. I've had a routine. I've been going to work. I've been leaving the house. The only difference is that Lacey's working from home. You know, Bella's not at school, so that's the key differences in my life, I guess. Yeah, obviously no wrestling, which is why we started producing content like this. So this keeps us busy most Sundays, and entertained with a new guest every week. And that guest is you this week, brother.
I was wondering then. I was wondering who it was. All them clues you were dropping. Yeah.
Do you want me to try and read it again?
No, come on now. Yeah. Let me find the mute button. If you let me find my mute button, you can read it as many times as you want. Yeah.
I'll see how it is. We have obviously got a few questions from people on social media, and we are going to chuck in an episode, a round of Discussion Concussion. to sort of freshen the format up a little bit. But you were recently on a Turnbuckle TV interview that went over quite well with the wrestling scene. Just tell us about your experience of that, Elliott.
Yeah, it was just good, nice little fun chat. I think to be honest, one thing I haven't really been doing in lockdown is keeping track. I haven't really been watching any wrestling sort of thing. So that was the first time I really sat down and spoke about wrestling for an hour. So yeah, it was good. We got to go over some cool things. Told a couple of nice stories. So yeah, it was good, man. Check it out.
Yeah, I watched it. I quite enjoyed it. It was nice to see your face and in a wrestling capacity talking about wrestling. So, you know, it was fun. I know the unit where training takes place has obviously been closed off to group training sessions, for example. But me and Lacey have been going for the past 3 weeks now, just getting in the ring and having a roll and a stretch and taking some bumps. And brother, it hurts. It hurts. It's been too long.
I think we all remember that first wrestling training session when the first time you get in the ring, like you get home and you've got the rope, the 3 just big lines on your back from the ropes, and everything hurts the next morning.
Yeah.
So, I just know that first training session back. I'm probably going to throw up. I'll probably be sick. Won't be able to walk all the next morning. Like, it's not going to be fun. But if I could, I'd go and jump in the ring right now. But
yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about when you first started training and when was that? How long have you been in the game now?
That was back in, I was in the 3rd year of uni up in Middlesbrough. So I went to train with this place up there. I think I trained for maybe about, let me see, it was quite a few months, maybe about a year-ish. But at the time I thought, wow, this is the best thing ever in that. But looking back on now with the experiences I've had in wrestling and training, it wasn't very good in that. But then I moved to Birmingham.
Good technical difficulties coming across. There we go. He's back.
So I moved to Birmingham 2014. And then I'd been down here a couple of weeks, and that's when the Kamikaze Dojo started. And that's where I've been ever since, yeah.
And did you make your debut when you were in Birmingham then with Kamikaze, or did you have any show experience up in Middlesbrough?
I did have some show experience up in Middlesbrough. But I mean, it was one of them places where you went along after a couple of months of training. You were in a rumble, and then a month or 2 more, and you were in a match.
You were the main event.
Yeah, I remember I had my first match.
I know the type of promotion very well.
Yeah, I had my first match against a wrestler called Prince Amin. I don't know if you know, he's been on like Defiant and the What Culture and all that. I had my first match against him the day after my graduation from uni. So I was surprised I could even stand up. But yeah, and then I moved out of Birmingham, and I'll always class my debut in Birmingham as my proper wrestling. And anything else before I look at as just like a training match in the ring. But my debut was right at the start. It was at Gatecrasher for Kamikaze. It was me versus Mori versus Mika. Nice bit of triple threat action, and went on really well. It was a lot better match than I think everyone expected it to be. We had everyone like Ligero, Pete Dunne, Ryan Smile. There was like Val Cabis and T-Bone. They're all sitting upstairs. There was like a balcony. So before a match, like we opened the show. You got like Uwe Guerrera, and they're all going to sit up there because they wanted to watch 3 trainees having a triple threat debut. But I think the nicest compliment was that a few of them says, "Oh, we just wanted to take the mick out of it because we were expecting it to be awful, but it was actually really good." Made my debut then, and that was it. And I'll look back since.
Yeah. Todd, was you at that one?
No. I do like to get over to Kamikaze when I can. Normally when Lewis spots somebody or some type of match that he wants to see or something. But I must admit, in recent times, I went to the one in March just before lockdown happened. That was in Tipton, but the last sort of 12 months or so, I lost track of Kamikaze a little bit due to like changing venues and things like that, and I did lose track a little bit. But yeah, I'm sure we'll be back. I'm sure we'll be back supporting those shows as well going forwards. But yeah, I do enjoy the Kamikaze shows, I must admit.
Yeah, good ones. I remember seeing you at a couple of the live ones, and that's always nice to see you.
Yeah. I always thought the one that we enjoyed, Lewis in particular, was it was Kamikaze Pro versus Nothing But Wrestling.
Yeah.
The Christmas time, yeah, that was a good show. I enjoyed that one. But yeah, like this year in March, it's always good to see the likes of the Hunter brothers, and you wasn't at that one yourself, but the Bled was still there as well as well, you know, it's a good opportunity to see some of the younger guys and, like you said, the trainees and stuff like that. And they're good crowds as well. They're good crowds, so it's invaluable experience for them, I would say, and it's good to see shows so well supported in my opinion. So.
I think the live shows benefited a lot from because Kamikaze used to be in Birmingham, and they had to move to Coventry. So then we just had the live in Birmingham, so I think they really came into their own then. And I think they're at the point now where they were originally a dojo show, like a trainee show, but I think to put that tag on it now just brings it down. I don't think it can actually be called a trainee show. I think they are essentially good shows in run, right? But it's funny you mentioned that March one, because that was 2024, and that's the first Kamikaze live show I've missed ever. I was heartbroken. Yeah, I was self-isolating at home.
Yeah, it was a shame. It was a good show, right? I mean, when you kick off a show with Darius coming out, I mean, he's pretty awesome, Darius, and it was only, I think it was the week before that me and Lewis was at Fight Club Pro, where they Darius alongside Dan Maloney in the 0121 had took the Fight Club Pro Tag Team Championship. So Darius was very much on a high still, and yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see. I mean, like I say, it's been years now that I've been seeing the likes of Darius, and I remember the first time I saw him, Lewis asked if he could go and chat to him after he'd had one of his matches, and he gave Lewis a signed photo, and then you look at that, and then, you know, a few years later he's on NXT UK and he's Fight Club Pro tag champion. It's fantastic to see. It is. It's great. Really good.
No, it really is.
Just shows hard work pays off, I suppose, when people are that dedicated. It's good things come to good people. That's what I say. People that work hard for it, and yeah,
you're absolutely spot on. And I think with a lot of the Kamikaze live roster, like you say, you can't really class that as a trainee show anymore.
No.
They bring in talent to wrestle, you know, trainees as such. And yeah, there are still some people that are at a trainee level on sort of a show, but they're up and comers. They're getting out there. They're getting experience with other promotions, just like yourself. And to be honest with you, a lot of our roster in terms of FCW, we look at Cami. You know, I've been to a few shows, and I've sat there and watched some great matches. And part and parcel of going to different shows is to scout who we could bring into FCW to make our product better. And you are especially one of those people. So I know that, you know, this year hasn't gone the way that it should have. But in your short time within FCW, how have you found it?
No, I've really enjoyed it. To be honest, it's an hard one to really to explain. Well, you two will understand what I mean. But like you're coming in, it's every month. It's you know that last Sunday a month that's Baggers Day, and you're turning up, and there's no one in the room at all who I dislike or could ever cause like problems and things. Everyone's just there to have a good time, to have some good wrestling, and there's no dicks or anything. There's no egos. It's just fun. Like you want to turn up a little bit earlier and things. You want to spend more time with everyone. I know, like when the show finishes, I always have to get up quick just to make it on. But yeah. I'd much rather be sticking around and spending time because it is just it's good wrestling, good people, good fun. Like it's everything you'd want. It's just everything you'd want in a place of work, I suppose. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And the crowd are really good as well. Before my first match, I was a bit nervous. I was like, "Oh, are they going to know me? And going to get reactions and stuff?" But it's one of my favourite crowds to wrestle in front of. So yeah, I love the layout as well. The fact you can be behind that curtain, and even if it's closed, you can kind of see what's going on. But then it goes vice versa. Because then when you're in your match, I always know I'm like, "Oh, Rob's going to be behind that curtain or something," and people. It's just good fun. Like it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you know what? That's really refreshing to hear. To be honest, for someone who was coming recently, that might have heard or understood some of the problems that may have been happening at the time, and so on and so forth with roster members or whatever the case might be. The politics, brother, the politics. But for you to come in and say, actually, there's none of that, and it's quite a chilled atmosphere, and everybody wants to be there and push the brand forward. It's refreshing to hear, especially for 2-3 people monkeying the truck, who are putting a lot of time and effort into making this product what it is at the minute.
Nice. I think from before I was involved in FCW, I've been to a couple of shows, and I had a lot of friends there and saw things you were doing. But then from what you're doing now, it seems like the past few months and year and that have really you've really gone on leaps and bounds and stuff. So it's a cool place to be involved at, just because you feel like you don't feel like I don't feel like, oh, I'm just turning up to do a match to get your wage and go home. You're turning up and you're part of a family, so to speak.
Yeah,
that's good. That's very much what the atmosphere that we do try and create, to be honest. And like you say, it's credit to everybody involved. It's credit to Dan, credit to Damien, to Jig, to Paul, to everybody involved. But it's also credit to the likes of yourself and to the guys on the roster, because you help create that as well, and it's great. It like you say, it's a good place to work, and it's an easier place to work, isn't it? I would imagine if you guys are turning up to the Baggerdome last Sunday of every month, and you're looking forward to getting there, and you're relaxed when you get there, that relaxation and happiness is going to go through the curtain with you as when it's showtime as well. So,
100%.
Definitely, 100%. And we try and pride ourselves on what you're doing. We're not just chucking you in a match for that payday, because I've been there. I've been at FCW when it was like that, and trust me, for 6 months in a row, I'd face the same person. We know storyline. We know storyline whatsoever. They just go, okay, you're wrestling Carson Bailey tonight. Okay. Is there any reason why I'm wrestling for the third month straight? No, not at the minute. Okay, all right, no problem. And obviously, we turned that around for our own benefit and said, you know what? let's create our own storyline.
It's good to remember. You'll say you'll tell the guys in the match like what you want in from the match and why it's been put together.
Yeah.
But then you give us the freedom to kind of go out there and tell the story, but have fun with it as well, and bring our own ideas into it. So it's a refreshing place like that.
Yeah, that's good because I mean I try to put together a story in terms of a match. So for example, one of your matches, you were going through a 3-way series, the later part of last year, where I can't even remember how it ended now, Elliott, because it's been that long ago. But I think you won that series because you were staying with us and that other person was not staying with us.
I got the good yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know if we got the third match in the end, to be honest. I think we maybe got 2 matches out of it. There we go. We didn't finish the series, but either way, you were winning that series regardless. Spoiler alert, it was booked, brother. It was booked.
Kayfabe.
Kayfabe alive. Keep it alive.
Plenty of questions for Elliott. I've got various written down. Mr. Chaos, I understand you've got some from our Instagram page as well.
I have, yeah.
You have, I
have. Do you want me to start with them?
Well, I've got some questions, and I'm going to start with Lewis, because when I told Lewis this morning that Elliott was on the show, as Elliott knows himself, Lewis is a huge Elliott Jordan fan, and he's got rather excited. I did ask him if he wanted to come and pop in, but he's no, he's a little bit shy. But
no,
yeah.
Bless him.
So Lewis has asked the first question he's asked: who has been your toughest opponent in FCW and your favourite match?
Toughest opponent. Oh, I've had Mark, I've had Zach, and I've had Stephen Keane. So, I mean, I want to say Zach because I'd like to say Zach's after the match I had with him. I was bedridden for a few days ill. But Mark Clark, it was only a short match I had with him as part of a gauntlet. But I think Mark Clark, he's so underrated. I think he's one of the best out there. And we were only going at it for about 5 minutes, but it was intense. It was fast. It was hard hitting. It was good. So I think he'd have to be my toughest. The toughest opponent I've faced in FCW. My favourite match. I want to say my one with Stephen. My most recent one with Stephen Keane. We'd never wrestled before. I think I'd only seen him work maybe once or twice. I hope he won't mind me saying, but I was very pleasantly surprised with how the match went. It was a lot of fun. We did some cool things in there. We seemed to kind of like gel in the ring a little bit for that one. So that's got to be my favourite one. And it was a really good crowd as well. The crowd were into it right from the off. So yeah, Stephen Keane, favourite match. Mark Clark, toughest opponent.
Cool.
Yeah,
okay.
and to be honest, Steve Keane surprises a lot of people when you step in the ring with him, because you think, well, you know, what's this going to be? I haven't really heard of this person. You know, how is this going to be? I don't know how experienced he is, how he is in the ring. Is he safe? Is he unsafe? So on and so forth. Can he put a match together? All of them questions might run through your head when you first meet him, because you might not know of him. But he does surprise you, and he does get around that ring, and he does put 120% in. And to get in there with someone as experienced as yourself now, Elliott, who is travelling up and down the country, getting bookings here, there and everywhere, which fair play to you, brother. You're doing well for yourself. To go in there, step in there with Steve Keane and get that match out of him, and him to bring that out of you, that was a fantastic match to watch for me.
Oh, thanks, man. I remember I was that one of the first times we'd interacted in the ring, and I just remember thinking, "Oh, we're in for it here. This will be a good one."
Yeah, and it will go one or two ways, won't it? When you first wrestle somebody, it will either go, "Oh, that could have been better." That was it could go three ways. That was dog shit, or oh, that was all right actually. It could be better than all right, but normally it's all right. And then you can work towards doing some more stuff in the down the road somewhere. And Mark Clark, you mentioned Mark Clark, and I'll always give credit to the Clarks, the Hunters, for putting me through my paces and bringing me up through the ranks. And Mark Clark, he's phenomenal, and that is why he's the current FCW champion, I guess.
No, he is the man, Mark Clark. I mean, the Hunters are just they are on completely a different level. But I remember I went through a period of going when they used to do their training at the unit on a Tuesday, and Mark and Matt would be there as well. And I remember just being in the ring and seeing the way they were. I was like, well, the Hunters are up there, but the Clarks have got to be. You've got to put them. I think you have to put both of them up there as well, just because of their ability and stuff. I think they are some of the most underrated workers on the British scene. Still haven't wrestled Mark in a full-on singles, so I'll drop that hint now. That's happening in the future.
I am sure somewhere in the future that will be booked.
You know what? This is as good a time as any to link on to Lewis's next question, which I thought was a very good question, which is, which title do you see yourself winning first in FCW?
Oh, see, after that conversation we've just said, I really should go and say I want to take the big one off Mark Clark. But you've currently got 2K as the Black Country Championship. Absolutely beautiful belt, by the way. And when I saw that, genuinely thinking this is one of the best belts in just wrestling in general, let alone West Midlands or anything like in wrestling. And me and Kane have had, I think, how many matches have we had now? We've had one, two. Yeah, we've had two matches. Both of them have been some of my favourite matches in wrestling completely, and I love 2K as well. So I think if I had to choose which one, I'd go for that Black Country. Go for the Black Country first, just because I think the belt's amazing. I think Kane's amazing. And then I can walk into that match with Mark Clark with the Black Country one, unify both of them, thinking big, yeah.
No, you're checking my gimmick, brother, because let's be honest, that's got my name written all over it. So I didn't want to get hot with you, Elliot, but you want to back the off.
You just want something else to put on your wall behind you, don't you? You little.
Absolutely. That is reserved purely for the Black Country Championship. There is the golden gimmick. 2K, that's got his name written on it because that's the one that he won the year before. Well, now I've got it. And that Black Country Championship is soon to return home, brother. And that's all I've got to say about that.
Oh, it's cute.
Elliot, I can't stay mad at you forever. I can't. You have this way about you. But speaking of the matches with 2K, I'm guessing, were they both at Wrestling 4?
Yeah, they were the Wrestling 4 ones, singles, and then we did the big crazy 60-minute 5-on-5 elimination tag.
And I've seen that match, and that is absolutely fantastic. It's just, for the lack of a better phrase, the best phrase to describe it in wrestling is an absolute cluster.
Oh my God, completely. I think we pitched we pitched the idea to Talbot because he wanted me and Kane had the first match, just the one, which I genuinely think is one of the best matches you could go and watch. Not at all wrestling wise, but just what happened in the match and just the story and everything. Beautiful. We pitched the idea to Talbot about the Glow versus Team 2K. Because I mean, you've been to the Hunters unit in that they had like a box of old gear that had just been collected over the years in that, and a few of us put it on, and we called ourselves the glamorous lads of wrestling, like in Glow.
Yeah.
We pitched this to Talbot and that, and we're like, yeah, man, this is gonna be amazing. Like, be the glamorous lads, it'll be beautiful, everything. And then 3 of our team had to drop out and get replaced at the last minute. So it ended up being just like 2 of us doing the glamorous lads, and then everyone else was just in the normal gear. Really, I mean, I was dressed as probably the worst Ultimate Warrior impersonator ever, and I tell you what, I don't know how he used to sprint to the ring and then round the crowd and everything in all his matches. Like, no wonder he was a big cokehead, because he needed it to do all that. I tell you. I remember him planning the match. We were like, right, guys, we got 20 minutes for this. We had the structure down and everything. We were like, right, everyone just plan your little bits, make them quick and everything. And I think I was out there, and I think we were only just coming out of the opening, and someone was like, yeah, it's about 25 minutes. God damn it, man, this is so... And there were a couple of us trying to get control over it, and it just kept on. It just kept on going, but the crowd were entertained.
And that is the key message there. The crowd were entertained, so no matter what time limit you had, I'm sure Talbot might have been running, grabbing at his hair and chucking headsets down, or he might have just been sitting there enjoying it, to be completely honest.
It was, yeah.
Did he come in and ref the finish of that match, if I remember rightly?
That was the first one, the one where me.
Right. Okay.
We did the double down with the confetti pistols.
Yes.
We shot each other. Favorite moment in wrestling completely. We turned. We had the Mexican standoff sort of thing. Popped each other a few times. Shot the ref. He didn't go down.
He didn't sell it.
Didn't sell a bullet to the chest. I mean, John Cena.
I think you can visibly hear you shouting at him. See, sell the shot, or yeah.
Yeah. I sat up and I popped him, and then I went back down and I was like, where is he? So I sat back up and I was like, Steve, I've just shot you. You're supposed to bump. So he gets shot, he bumped down. And then you just see Talbot slide into the ring, and he starts doing the 10 count and that. I got no idea what the finish was to that match. I couldn't actually tell you who won in that. I just remember we shot each other, and then I had about 200 people chopping me for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Successful day out that.
Successful day out at the office indeed. Any more questions from Lewis, Todd?
No, but I have. But I was just going to say, going back to that Wrestling 4 show, Lewis, the Elliott Jordan fan that he is, when you came out into the crowd and you raised some good money, taking a lot of chops off people that night, if I'm right. So, of course, I put my hand in my pocket and said to Lewis, he's like, can I have some money, Dad? Can I have some money? Yeah, go on, mate. And then Elliott comes up and I goes, go on then, mate, chop in. No, he would not chop Elliott. I'm not chopping Elliott. No. So I had to. So, yeah, that was... But then later on, well, it might have been before or after, he wouldn't chop Elliott, but he was more than happy to go and dive into the ring and pin Marshall X after Clint Marshall laid out Marshall X on that show. I think there was Lewis and another lad that, I can't remember who it was now, that came out and got him. And then Clint did the business and Lewis rolled him up for the pin.
Yeah, I'm glad it were you that chopped me in that, because there was so many... there was a load of, at first, a lot of the fans were like, kids were just shocking me in that. But then towards the end of it, like, we worked our way to the back of the room, and Marshall X was there. There was a load of wrestlers who'd been on the show or come to watch. They were all there. And so I'm seeing them putting money in this bucket, and I'm thinking, hang on, there's a bit of a difference between taking a chop off this 9-year-old kid than this professional wrestler. And then Kenny Kilbane and they're there. And people were throwing money in for them to chop me. Oh, I was crawling at that point. I was crawling to get back into the ring, and I had this little kid. God, I wish I could have just battered him there and then. To be honest, he couldn't have been older than like 6 or 7 years old. But I wish I could have just big booted him in the head. I tell you. So he comes up to me and he lines this chop up there, and then he does it. And just before he hits me, he just turns his hand around and just slaps me on.
I'm having a mare here, lads. I ain't going to lie. Technical difficulties galore over at Al Captino's table. The iPad is on charge, but the iPad has died while on charge. Work that out. So I've switched to my phone. Here I am. I'm back.
This is a nightmare for us now, because now we can see more of you on the screen.
Exactly. That's what happens when you switch from an older iPad to the latest iPhone. You get more of me.
Oh,
we were just talking about the Wrestling 4 show where Lewis, being the Elliott Jordan fan that he is, when Elliott came out and raised a lot of money by taking chops off various people in the crowd, when it came to Lewis, who'd already gone through the, Dad, can I have some money? Can I have some money? Yeah, chucks his money in. And, go on then, chop Elliott. No, I'm not chopping Elliott. No. So I had to instead.
But, yeah. Lewis knows. How was that chop? You probably don't remember because you took about 200. Here's the thing, I'm still wearing these headphones. I'm not even connected to the Bluetooth anymore. It's all going to.
No, yeah, Tom's chop was all right. I think in that chopper fire, I think maybe about 90% of the chops were completely fine. But then there were about 10% of them. Oh,
and I'm guessing they were the stiff wrestlers that were in the crowd that night.
A couple. I mean, I remember they went over to Marshall X, and I remember thinking, "Oh, this one ain't gonna be fun." But I knew, and if he'd have hit me lightly, I'd have been very disappointed in him.
Yeah.
It got to the point where people were paying for Kenny Kilbane and Dominator to actually be the ones that got me and stuff. So they came keen in that. But I mean, it was just a fun experience. We didn't think in our wildest dreams it'd be as popular as it was on the night. But I think we ended up raising about over 250 quid in the space of this one match. I think we'd had about 20 minutes. Chopathon had started. We were already well over time, and I'm saying to Talbot as I'm getting chopped, I'm like, "Come on, Talbot, we got time. You got to get us back in the ring here. No more chops." And he's just there, like, "No, just keep going. Money's coming in." So I think that match was probably longer than the second. Just do all the chops, yeah.
I can speak from experience by venturing into the crowd and receiving some chops. So at October's FCW event, Orange Cassidy, Trent Seven were in the crowd. Carson Bailey had me up against the bar and he was chopping the hell out of me. I think he gave me 3 or 4 chops while a bloke was feeding me dark fruits to try and rejuvenate the life inside of me. And then Carson Bailey looked out to the crowd and said, "Who wants to chop him?" Now, I used to train with Ben a little bit, shooting from the hip with Trent Seven there. I used to train with him at Fight Club Pro. So I sort of leant over onto the table looking at them. And I went, "Come on then, Ben, chop me." And he sort of just looked at me and went, "All right then." Walked round set me up against that bar and give me one hell of a gunshot wound to their chest. And trust me, it still stings. It still stings to this day. So.
Oh, I can imagine. Bless you.
Yeah. You asked for it.
I did ask for it. And I actually, funny enough, backstage, I was like, when we go up the bar and you start beating me up and stuff, try and get someone to chop me. And I am going to ask him to chop me, and let's see what happens. And he did. So thank you for that, Trent Seven.
Oh, bless you.
Todd, you got any more there?
Yeah. Again, from Lewis. I think by this he means probably, maybe, well, I don't know whether he means when you were growing up or what, but he simply asked, who is your favourite wrestler?
It's a bit of a weird one because I think a lot of people, when you ask them about wrestling, they've always got stories of watching it in the childhood and everything like that. But that was never me. Like, we didn't have Sky when I was growing up as a kid. First bit of wrestling I actually saw was WCW on Friday nights. It was on for like an hour on Channel 5. I had like the games SmackDown 1 and 2 on PS1 and that, but I think because I never had any exposure to it, I didn't really follow it as I was a kid. But then when it came to uni and we got Sky and we ended up watching Raw, my housemates had all that nostalgia, so we were watching it and we got into it. And the person that always drew me in the most, and that I enjoyed the most at the start was Edge. And I think just from watching it then and then looking back at all the other matches and watching the history of wrestling sort of stuff, and just he's probably the person I've always enjoyed and has entertained me the most. Probably followed a close second by The Miz when he was doing his his awesome stuff. Massive fan, big fan. So probably say them two. Yeah.
I can tell you, the answer with Edge will absolutely delight Lewis. Again, this is my 8-year-old son that lives and breathes wrestling, studies it and everything, and Edge is very much up there with his favourites, alongside the likes of Trent Seven and AJ Styles. He likes, and he tells me all sorts nowadays about. He watches a lot of AEW, and he really likes John Moxley compared to when he portrayed the Dean Ambrose character. And Chris Jericho. Oh my word! So he'll be really happy to eat it.
See, I've just realised I missed one out because I couldn't. You're probably going to a bit of a controversial choice, I want to say, but I remember when I first started watching the rest, I'm like, you had your characters like your Edge and your Miz's that I just enjoyed and got on with, but there was one guy who just throughout his whole run in WWE, I just think he's quality. He just entertains me. I got asked who my dream match would be the other day, and it'd probably be this guy, but Heath Miller or Heath Slater. I think he's class, man. He just entertains me so much.
He's got kids.
I saw an episode. He has got kids. There was an episode, and I can't remember what the program was called, but it used to be like on the network, and it'd be like it was like Jackass, but it was them backstage. Yeah. I just remember seeing some of them, and there were a lot of laugh out loud moments. He's one of the most entertaining people, and I was gutted he got released, but it means there's actually a chance I could get to wrestling one day. So Heath Slater's definitely up there, man.
Fingers crossed.
I still don't think we've seen the last of Heath Slater in WWE, I must admit, but we'll have to see him, I suppose. But yeah, that's the end of Lewis's questions, Mr. Chaos. So if you've got, I have got other questions, but
yeah, I've got some. My phone dying. Sorry, my iPad dying didn't help. So I've sort of lost the ability to maybe get them. I might be able to swipe you up. Apparently, my dad's ringing me on my phone now, so this is going well. I'm having all sorts of technical difficulties this morning. So here's one question from Instagram. It's from the monkey in the truck, funny enough. He asks, and this is such a weird, strange question that it's just got to go in here, and I've got to know the answer. So, would you rather have what's it covered fingers or sugar coated lips forever?
That's easy, man. It'd be sugar coated lips, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I would think so.
Everything's going to taste sweeter.
Yeah.
It's just going to be better.
Women aren't going to complain about your orange fingers.
Exactly. I'm sure there's plenty of non-PG reasons why sugar lips would be better than Cheetos fingers as well, but we won't get into them. So straightforward. Give me them sugar lips, baby.
Sugar lips, baby. There we go. I have managed to get some questions. So am I still on the screen at this point?
Thankfully not.
Oh, okay. So I've disappeared a little bit, but you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask these questions. These are from the mini. Hold on, my dad's ringing me again. I've told him to clear off. Here I am back again. Right, so this is from the mini Captino, little Riley, who comes and supports us every month. Not only at Baggerdome, but at Wolfram Pro Wrestling as well. So for Elliott Jordan, I guess.
Whoa. The Elliott Jordan Experience.
Just because I'm a blank screen doesn't mean I shouldn't forget that. So yes, the Elliott Jordan Experience. I suppose you may have already answered some of these along the way. So which wrestler inspired you and why? So would that be the likes of Edge and The Miz, or do you have other wrestlers involved in that sort of question?
No, I think it would be them, because when I first got into wrestling, and then it was only maybe about 6 months, maybe a little bit longer, after first watching it, that I went to my first training session. So for that first, even the first few months of training, I didn't really know that there was like a big independent scene or anything. I was quite sheltered like that. So it would be the guys like that, like your Edges, your Miz's, CM Punk was a big one when I first got into it as well. The people like that I mentioned.
Okay. You said what championship belt do you want the most in the FCW? I think we cleared that up a little bit earlier when we sort of spoke about the beauty of the Black Country Championship and the importance and obviously the beauty there now of the new FCW Championship. But I think your answer was the Black Country Championship to begin with.
Oh yeah, that was, I forgot the FCW, but I haven't seen it in detail properly yet. But yeah, I'd still go for that Black Country just to take it off Kane. Yeah,
that's fair enough. And as you state, you're simply the best. What is your overall goal in FCW?
Overall goal in FCW, unify both championships, run roughshod through the whole roster, and be the man.
That's some strong goals. I like it.
Strong and achievable, yeah.
Okay. And the last question from the mini captain is, what is the Elliott Jordan Experience?
Oh, well, the Elliott Jordan Experience is the most streamlined and aerodynamic entity in professional wrestling today, it is the personification of VIP, of class, of style. It is something you don't want. It's someone you don't want to get on the wrong side of. It's an experience that you just can't handle. But to be honest, I think the best way to describe the Elliott Jordan Experience is just to say he's a massive. But he's that's just got a good point, and I do think that's why it ingrains on people so much, because I'll come out and I'll be giving it. I'll give it the big. I'll give it the big to everyone, and people want to they want to dislike me, but I come back. I back it up. The Elliott Jordan Experience backs it up in the ring. So they've always got that. They'll be booing me, but in their head, they know that I am right, and that's what they don't like.
Yeah, fair enough, and that's a great way of describing what the Elliott Jordan Experience is and what he brings to the table in the promotions that you can catch him at, and more importantly, at the Baggerdome FCW. Now, the Baggerdome, baby. Now, me, Captino, I know you're the guest star here, Elliott, but, you know, he is, of course, my number one fan, and obviously has a question for me too, so I'm going to answer it. Riley, I miss you too. I can't wait till we're reunited in the Baggerdome or wherever it might be, and you hand me a can of dark fruits after I take back the Black Country Championship. But the question is, who do I want to drop the dark fruits elbow on the most when I return to wrestling? And that's an interesting question, because there's a few people that need to receive that elbow in a few different promotions, as far as I'm concerned. You being one of them, Elliott Jordan, at another promotion for another championship. But when we talk about FCW, when we talk about FCW, the two people that I'm coming for the most are 2K and CJ Rawlins. Those two individuals have got a dark fruits elbow with their name written all over it, baby.
Strong dark fruit. I don't want to upset you, Rob, but it just tastes like cat's piss.
Well, firstly, it doesn't. Secondly, they've changed the recipe a little bit, so I'd probably go and give it another go. If you like a fruity cider and the darkest of fruits is not your taste, maybe try the blackest of fruits, which is a Copperberg cider. Give that one a go.
That big fan of your Copperbergs and your recorder leagues, but Strongbow dark fruit, just nah, man. There's something about it just doesn't sit well with me.
No, it's all right. There's plenty of RKOs to go around, Elliott Jordan.
The Elliott Jordan Experience, but okay.
Oh, sorry. I do apologise. Why don't we take this opportunity to have a debate at this point, Todd? Why don't we get a bit of a discussion concussion on the go?
Okay. Discussion concussion then, guys. I've been given the subject this week by Dan the Man in the Truck. And the question is this week.
Monkey in the truck.
Eric Rowan in the truck. Ending your career, it's better to burn out than fade away. So, Rob, you'll be going first with disagree. Elliott, you'll be following up with agree. So,
disagree. So, am I backing the burnout, or what? What am I backing?
No, you're disagreeing with the burnout.
So fade away. I'm backing fade away. Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
Okay, down the man, Eric Rowan, whatever you're called nowadays, Monkey, whatever. Over to you in the truck.
Good morning, Mr. Chaos.
We are going to get a lawsuit one of these days because of you, and I hope you're ready to fight that.
We are ready.
No.
You have 60 seconds to make your opening argument. Beginning.
Okay, so the reason that it's better to disappear rather than fade away is, prime example, The Undertaker. Look at him. He should have gone out a while ago, and instead he's still hanging around, waiting for that moment, that magic that he wants to reappear, and it's just not going to happen. He hasn't got the ability to do it anymore, for example. I mean, this might be controversial, but people who have died have got a larger legacy than the people that are still trying to make it these days. Jimmy Superfly Snuka was still trying to make it a carnival at the age of 65. Just give it up, pal. Just give it up. It's not Madison Square Garden. You're looking awful in front of about 20 people. Just drop it. Drop the gimmick. Go home and, do some snooker. There's an inside joke for you. But on top of that, people like Owen Hart, Brian Pillman, the British Bulldog, they've all passed. You've given me not enough time today. These should be 90 seconds and you know it.
Mr. Experience.
So I've now just got to disagree with this dick.
Mr. Experience.
Yes.
So it is bad.
You now have 2 minutes to cross-examine and make your opening argument. Beginning now.
Right, Rob. Well, I'm going to try my hardest to explain why you are full of shit.
Yeah, good luck.
And now that I've said that, I've kind of forgotten what I was going to say. So I'm just going to go out and say my personal my personal experience would be that no one can tell me when I can't do what I love to do. So I can see why. I've used The Undertaker, for example. I can completely understand why you keep going, because goes into one match expecting it to be your last match. All well and good, you're going out in a blazing glory, but you don't want to leave. You don't want to leave on a note. That last match is going to be one of the things you remembered for. So I think if someone says to you, "Oh, you can't do this anymore because you're injured," that's fair enough. But you know your own body, and I think as a performer, one of the hardest things you can do is look at yourself in the mirror and say, I need to stop doing this. No one wants to become a parody of yourself, but I think it's pretty much impossible to see that you're becoming that.
Your time is up. Mr. Chaos, your 60-second cross-examination begins now.
Other than Elliott folded his washing and playing with himself in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, he did make a pretty good point there, to be completely honest. But the fact of the matter is, the point where I was going before I was so rudely interrupted is because so many great people faded away or burnt themselves out at the right time. So the people who passed away that I mentioned, the British Bulldog, Owen Hart, Brian Pillman, have a legacy, and they have a legacy forever based on when they stopped. And yes, they were stopped short because of death and they didn't have the opportunity to come back and so on and so forth. But it's the same as Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair, for example. Ric Flair had that perfect send-off at WrestleMania 24. Absolutely fantastic retirement match with Shawn Michaels. And then the next night he had such an emotional speech. He got the emotional send-off. Everybody crying at home. Everybody crying in the audience. Wrestlers crying in the ring. It was a well-deserved send-off. And then what does he go and do? He goes and ruins it, steps in the ring at TNA and absolutely just burns out his legacy. And you look at him and go, why? Why did you do it? What? Oh, for God's sake.
Mr. Experience, your 60-second cross-examination begins now.
See, Rob, another reason why you're full of shit. You mentioning about Ric Flair there. If someone says to me about Ric Flair, I'm not gonna. The first thing I think isn't gonna be, oh, he went to TNA and was a shadow of his former self there. I'm gonna think, oh, it's Ric Flair, dirtiest player in the game, the Nature Boy. Think about all his good stuff. It's the same. If you say, oh, same with Undertaker like today. I ain't thinking about his match with Goldberg or his Roman Reigns ones. I'm thinking about, oh, that's Taker, baby. Think of all the good stuff he's done. I ain't gonna. You say that the people who have died have got a legacy in that. Well, yeah, they do. So's Undertaker. So's Kurt Angle. I was there at his last match in TNA. But then he went and he had one of the best matches I've ever seen with Rousey and Triple H. So it's all about the legacy.
See how annoying it gets, Elliott Jordan Experience. See what I have to put up with on a weekly basis.
Well, they have to
Chaos. Your 90-second closing statement begins now.
Right, I'll agree with you again, because Ric Flair is the goddamn man, but he has and will always have the smudge on his record of going to TNA after he should have retired, and that's my point. Shawn Michaels, he retired technically at WrestleMania 26, but we all know recently that he stepped back into the ring at Saudi Arabia for D-Generation X versus Brothers of Destruction. Now, for me, Shawn Michaels didn't look massively out of place. He still looked like he could carry the match along with Triple H. Kane and The Undertaker on the other hand, not so much. And maybe that's because of the involvement that Triple H and Shawn Michaels have at an NXT level, where they're still around it. They're probably still rolling around and being loose and so on and so forth. Where Kane just turned up for a payday. He should have gone long ago. And The Undertaker only trains like an MMA fighter when it's big match time. So then they're not doing it year in, year out, unlike Shawn Michaels and Triple H, for example. So the point is, let it go, man. Let it go. You're done. It's over. I'm telling you, it's over. It don't matter about the doctor. It don't matter what they're saying. Yeah, they're saying you're going to die in 5 years, buddy, because your body's... That's the fact of the matter. I'm telling you, please stop. Please say goodbye and please give it a rest. See you later. Sayonara. Thank you very much for everything you did for us over the years. Undertaker, please retire.
Your time is up. Please stop. I'm telling you to stop.
Don't talk to me like that, buddy.
Best of order, please. Best of order.
Your 90-second closing statement begins now.
See, Rob, who are you? Who are you to sit there in your bedroom with your FCW awards up behind you to say, Undertaker, you're done. You passed it, and that like they might not be having the matches that they're not having anymore. But I guarantee, if you're in an arena and you hear Taker's music or you hear Flair's music or Michaels and Triple H, you'll immediately be taken back to your childhood, and you won't be thinking, oh, this guy's a shadow of his former self. You're thinking, that's Undertaker, baby. Oh, that's Kurt Angle. That's Triple H. You don't. If you're judging people and what you're going to remember is the worst points of the career, that's on you, pal. You need to take a long look at yourself in the mirror for that. Yeah, you just go and take a long hard look at yourself in the mirror. But you've used a couple of big examples, people like The Undertaker in the cage match. But there's still plenty of wrestlers who are still going, who are still as good as they've ever been and things. Look at Goldust. He kind of faded away a little bit in WWE towards the end of it. He's been one of my favourite things about AEW. So it does go swings and roundabouts, but what you're doing is you're putting everyone in this one.
Mr. Your time is up. This concludes discussion concussion.
Thank God for that. I mean, I just want to say that they are all my heroes. Everybody that I've just had to abuse for the last 3 to 5 minutes are my absolute heroes, and I do apologise for abusing you. But the purpose of this debate is for me to make a point. So contradictory to what you may believe with my FCW awards and everything else, all of the gimmicks, I will never, and I repeat, never compare to people like Shawn Michaels, Triple H, The Undertaker, Kane. They are what I prefer to call legends. And
they shouldn't compare themselves to you. That's what it should be. They're sitting there, they should not ever compare themselves to you.
They should start a podcast and go, you know that RC Chaos from the Baggerdome?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Good. There we go. We're back on track now. Me and Elliott like each other again. Sorry, the Elliott Jordan Experience. We like each other again.
Get it right.
Todd, have you got any further questions for our guest this week?
I have, yeah. It's a question that I've wanted to ask for quite a while. And it's a question about the nightclub that I can't get in. Who do you share that VIP area with?
Wouldn't you like to know? Wouldn't you like to know? I'd be able to tell you if you're on the list. It's simple. That's the exclusivity. That's the exclusivity of it. Couldn't tell you. People you could only dream about spending time with. That's who it is.
Something I'll never find out then.
That's it, yeah.
Todd, you will never find out the answer to that question.
Hey, neither will you, Rob.
Oh, wow.
Tom's got more
to
you.
I look forward to the day
in the middle of the ring. You'll have no choice but to give me a VIP pass, will you, pal?
So I think your iPad just went flickering on it. I'm sure you just said you beat me.
There's no technical difficulties there, pal. What I'm saying is, when I beat you in the middle of the ring, you'll have no choice but to give me a VIP pass.
Yeah, it might not be technical difficulties. It looks like it's more mental difficulties that you're having there.
Oh, yes. The Elliott Jordan Experience. I have been waiting for so long for someone like you to come on this show and give me a run for my money. Thank you very much.
You can make it so easy for me. It'd be rude not to, wouldn't it?
It would be rude not to. It would be rude not to. I'd be highly disappointed if you didn't do this. If you sat there folding your watch in, playing with your Lucasade and whatever else you're playing with.
Watching. I've just got a towel on my lap for some reason, and I fiddle with my hands.
Whoa! So let's just get this straight. You're sitting there in a towel filming this podcast.
No. I'm sitting here in a pair of shorts, Lord. But I just have the towel on me. I don't know why.
On there, guys. The Elliott Jordan Experience is revealing a lot.
No, I'm way more dressed for this podcast than I usually am for me hangouts and stuff for work. Like my first day working from home, I had to do a hangout with about 20 members of staff on and that. Yeah. And luckily my computer doesn't have a webcam on, but I didn't know this at the start. So when it first comes up and camera's there, I'm like naked. But then I realised I was lucky.
The challenges of working from home, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, man.
There is one more question from Instagram. Can you still hear me, ladies and gentlemen?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's fine. There is another question from an Instagram fan. It's related to Kamikaze Pro and I believe your Relentless Championship. It's from _Angel_124 and she says, what is the best part of being in the bled at Kamikaze Pro? So maybe for someone that doesn't know who the bled is, if you can just take us through that first and then maybe tell us what is the best part of being in that stable.
So the bled is a collection of very, very like-minded individuals in myself, the Elliott Jordan Experience, 21st Century Hero, Luke Douglas, and Clint Margera. What the bled is, it started with Clint. You'd have Clint Margera and then Luke. Luke was out there. He was kind of like a little, not like protege. I think that's the wrong word. He was, but in that sort of vein. And then they had a mask man who was helping him, helping Clint keep the title. Just being a general. Lo and behold, that was me. And they revealed that when I won the Money in the Bank. And since then, we've ran absolutely roughshod in Kamikaze. We've beaten everyone that's been put in front of us. We've beaten the Big Picture, which was Robbie X, Damien Dunn, and Marshall X. They were the big faction in Kamikaze for a good couple of years. The Elliott Jordan Experience now become the longest reigning Relentless champion in Kamikaze Pro history. Because the bled, we were a collection of 3 individuals who realised we weren't getting the respect and the opportunities that our abilities warranted in Kamikaze. So we banded together and we sorted that out. But the best thing about being in the bled, I get to spend most of my time when I'm wrestling. I'm either out there tagging with Luke, or Luke will be out there in my corner. Luke's one of my best friends in wrestling. He's a fantastic guy. So getting to do that's amazing. And then having Clint there, it adds another dimension to it. Clint's absolutely fantastic. People might always think of Clint Margera and think, oh, deathmatch worker. But Clint's absolutely fantastic in everything he does in wrestling. He's a cool guy as well. We're getting to spend time with him, learning how he goes through his matches, just seeing what he's like outside in the ring as well. So that's probably one of the biggest things. But I think my favourite part of being in the bled is just the absolute hate that I get for it. Like, the Elliott Jordan Experience was not a well-liked guy at all in Kamikaze. But then when I joined the bled, it's almost as though like a firework went off. Like, it really, like the level of hate just really, really intensified. But through being in the bled, we've got to have some unique matches. Like I got to do a Luke Douglas trapped in a lift match, which was me versus Cage Utler. Because Luke was obviously he'd interfered in a lot of my matches, and the Empire, they had a lift. So Luke Douglas was locked in the lift for this whole match. But the kicker was that Luke is claustrophobic. So it was a really cool dynamic we had there. But I think it's just cool to be a part of something like that, and to be a part of something that has had such an impact on Kamikaze as a whole as well. I think I probably can't really say one favourite thing. I think just being a part of it in general is just amazing.
Yeah, it sounds lovely, mate. Sounds absolutely lovely. But what if I invited you, Clint Margera, and the 21st Century Hero, Luke Douglas, down to the Baggerdome to step in the ring with the Betrayed 2.0, and MJ Grayson and Frank Wesker and myself show you what a Rio trio in wrestling looks like.
Well, what a real trio. I thought you said a Rio trio. Can't understand your yamness sometimes. But I mean, I can tell you exactly what will happen in that. We'd up, man.
That's simple.
Three hits in it. Us hitting you hitting the floor, and the ambulance hitting 90 driving away from the Baggerdome, mate. Told you. Fantastic. No question, no contest. Like,
the trouble is, you don't know how to get round a crowbar to punch me in the face, buddy, and you'll find that out firsthand. So the ambulance better be on standby, but it won't be for us free. It will be for you free.
See, that's fine. I don't need to bring little toys like crowbars in the ring. But if you wanna hide behind your weapons and look at me with my crowbar.
It's a very dangerous weapon, and you will find that out first.
Not in your hands.
You turn up with your boys.
Nothing is a dangerous weapon in your hands.
Well, you just haven't had the opportunity to experience it yet. And that's one experience that the Elliott Jordan won't be going to that nightclub after.
Sorry, that the Elliott Jordan what?
What?
You said that the Elliott Jordan won't, but
I said you won't be going to the nightclub once you've experienced my crowbar.
Oh, okay, Rob. Okay.
There you go, Todd. There you go. Yeah, brother. Yeah.
Shaking, literally shaking. Oh, I'm so scared.
Can tell the towel's drying from all the shaking. It's an awkward silence, let me tell you. There's some tension building.
I didn't want to respond to that. I just wanted you to sit there just looking awkward.
But you're having a stare off.
I'll never look awkward.
Oh, bless you.
Todd, take us home, buddy.
Yeah, I've got another question first.
No, well, sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to rain on your parade. Why don't you ask your question?
Yeah, I know. You're a little bit worried now. You know, you've invited the bled over. That's your bed that you've now got to lie in. But anyway, I've got a question for you, Elliot, from D Chumba via Facebook.
Okay, lay it on me. Oh, this is going to be mental. This is someone from my work. I know what this is about a bit.
So thank you for your question, D. And his question is his real name Benson?
See, this is one of them moments where someone asks something which is like a private joke, and if I try and explain it, it's just not going to come across. It's not going to come across as anything. So I'll be bringing this up with D on Monday.
In one of them naked hangouts.
One of your naked meetings.
You wish you were on my naked meetings, tell you that.
You'll be glad I'm not on one of your naked meetings.
He's just he's one of the guys I work with. He trained me as part of my role, and I used to get us coffees from the coffee machine. He used to call me Benson, so it's just a nickname that stuck in work. So that is it. Sort of like a Benson, get us a coffee. Yeah, sort of like that. But if you ever say it, you'll get slapped.
Okay, yeah, we'll see. First thing I'm saying to you when we see each other in the future. First thing, I'm going to write it down so I don't forget.
He's going to put it on his wall behind him, isn't he?
Benson, yeah. The reminder for when you see Elliott Jordan, Benson, get a coffee.
I suppose you need something to go on your wall, and it's looking a bit bare. You've not really got many accolades there.
I mean, that's just one of three. This is a quick setup to do this broadcast. This is by far not my bedroom at all. So it is what it is. I'm just in here to deliver this, and that's it. I'm out of here.
Oh, bless you.
But Elliot, I'll tell you what, before we end this, excluding all the heat that we've generated with each other during this podcast, I've enjoyed having you on, and it's been really good talking to you and catching up over this platform, and hopefully soon in the future we'll be together again to have a few laughs or two.
Oh no, it's been good. It's been good getting to chat with Tom again, and yeah, it's been good.
Oh, it is, and
okay.
I'm sure the FCW universe will be absolutely delighted to see you as well. And if any Kamikaze fans are watching, of course, as well, and anybody else that's seen you wrestle anywhere, they'll always be glad to see you.
Yeah. See, Tom's nice. I like talking with Tom.
His name's Todd.
Shut up, Rob.
Yeah, Rob, shut up.
You what, Todd? You what?
Nothing.
Just because he's here, don't think you can get out of line. He ain't going to protect you. He's not going to protect you. Hopefully that's how it's being recorded when we meet up at the Baggerdome down in the future.
Yeah, but what you don't know is, first thing I'm going to do when I come off here is I'm going to go and mark out with a load of the Bled merch for the next show, if they accept your challenge.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Team Bled.
Yeah, okay.
Rob's just going to go and polish his little certificate and stuff, isn't he? I bet he printed that out himself. I bet you made that on your own computer and printed it out.
You'll be glad to know that I didn't print it out myself. Lacey won that in the raffle. It hasn't even got my signature on it, which is hilarious. I couldn't be bothered to sign it that night, you know. And then that's just one of the 3 awards that I own. One of the 4 awards I own from 2 years of having the ability to win an award at FCW. Just think, if I had the ability to win awards at FCW for the last 8 years, what would that wall then look like, Elliott Jordan? What would that wall then look like?
It'd probably look the same, to be honest.
Well, the funny thing is, your back wall looks as blank as your personality, pal.
Yeah, because, listen, if I was to go and get the numerous... I don't have any of these certificates. I've got big, in fact, I've got big trophies, mate. Look at this.
Well, and that's all we've got time for this week, ladies and gentlemen.
You have one of these?
And what's that for? Winning the cricket club?
If you read it, it says, Kamikaze Pro, Villain of the Year, 2019.
I do believe that you won it 2 years in a row, Elliott Jordan.
I did. The other one's in the other room.
Yeah,
for next time, I'll maybe blue tack them all to the wall or something.
Monkey in the truck. We need to up our budget for awards. If he has trophies, I want trophies.
I just didn't want to embarrass you. I mean, and you probably embarrass yourself a lot of times in the day, but I didn't want to contribute to that today. So you just have your 3 certificates. You're doing a good job.
Thank you for being so kind, Elliott Jordan. Again,
that's what I'm here for.
Again, this war of words won't mean anything until we step in a ring.
Right, bring it.
I will bring it. I will bring all of it. And you know there is a lot to bring.
Hopefully that can happen too.
You need to take us home before this escalates even more, buddy.
Let's go home then. Let's go home. Well, that is as much time as we have this week. Thank you, Elliott, for Elliott Jordan Experience. I'll always get your name up. EJXT.
Oh, knows.
Thank you for joining us today around the virtual El Captino's table. Thank you for very, very entertaining time. It's been good. I've enjoyed sitting back watching you two guys go at it, and I look forward to everything that this rivalry. It's just showing signs of developing. I look forward to where this goes once the Baggerdome is back open, once we can get going. Anything finally from you, Robert?
I've had enough. I'm going to go and drink some dark fruit and enjoy the rest of my Sunday. And wait for that moment that Boris at number 10 gives us the go-ahead to get down to the Baggerdome, drink a cold pint, set up a wrestling ring and lay the smack down and drop some dark fruit elbows. And in fact, Elliott Jordan, you're moving up that list, brother. You're moving up that list. 2K, CJ Rawlings. Maybe Elliott Jordan's just creeping up there now as well.
See, I mean, I would say, oh, Rob, you're moving up on my list, but I don't need a list. I ain't no little bitch. So I'll need to keep track of people like you do. Just deal with them as and when. But you want to put me on your list? That's fine. That's fine.
I'll see you down the road, brother. Thank you for being a part of this show.
No, thanks for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
Loads of fun, loads of gimmicks, loads of banter, all of it to be exact. For El Captino's table, I've been RC Chaos with Todd Pettingale and the Elliott Jordan Experience. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you soon.